substantial difference, though, between love bombing and grooming. And people tend to confuse the two, especially self-styled experts and so on online. Grooming is a pathological technique, pathological strategy, which leads to criminalized, antisocial, or aggressive, violent acts. So a pedophile grooms his targets or his victims, the children he is about to abuse, molest, or exploit sexually. That's what a pedophile does. A sadist grooms his victims. Grooming leads to acts of extreme egregious abuse, usually including violation of physical boundaries. A sexual sadist will groom you. And the difference between love bombing and grooming is substantial, because grooming is intended to achieve 6 goals. And remember, grooming is mostly done by a person who displays symptoms of narcissism, psychopathy, and sadism, a kind of dark triad of a different sort. And again, grooming is intended to achieve 6 goals. The first one is to establish mastery, a power hierarchy, an external locus of control over you, so that you feel that you have surrendered your life, that you have surrendered control over yourself, your decision-making processes, everything to the outside, to that person. Number 2, in grooming, to mold the target into a mindless and obedient role play. So if it's a woman, the sexual sadist would usually would try to mold her into an unthinking whore, satisfy his sexual fantasies without any limit, without any boundary, without ever saying no. The third function of grooming is to overcome the target's natural revulsion and anxiety. When normal people, when healthy people come across a narcissist, come across a psychopath or the sadist, they have this immediate, intuitive, reflexive unease. They feel discomfited and they don't know why. Something is off key. Some part of the tune is fake and wrong, and they know it, but they can't put the finger on it. We feel that it's a simulation, that it's not real, that it's feigned, that it's a forgery of some kind, a counterfeit. And so there's immediate revulsion and anxiety. And grooming is intended to overcome these reactions by habituating the target, co-opting or hijacking the target's fantasy life, injecting the sadist injects himself into the subject's imagination, fears, hopes, wishes, dreams, fantasies, becomes an integral and inseparable part of these things. The fourth function is to expose the target to brainwashing, messaging, and signaling. Repetition does that. Repetition, and then co-opting, pretending to have an unspoken, unverbalized, ambient agreement about some things, even if the agreement is never made explicit. So there are sanctions for breach of, for misconduct, for breach of this unspoken atmospheric agreement. And it's a part of brainwashing. It's intermittent reinforcement. You abide by the rules, you follow the conventions and the mores that we had agreed on, God knows when, then I'm going to reward you. You don't, I'm going to punish you. And there are numerous ways to punish. Silent treatment is the most prevalent. The fifth role of grooming is to push the target, to dismantle her boundaries, to abrogate her values and morals, and to violate her own rules of conduct and her own decisions about her life, her goals, the way acceptable things, non-acceptable things, and so on, to transform, to shapeshift the target so that she is totally disoriented. Her life becomes a kaleidoscope. She's no longer sure what she believes in. She can't be absolutely certain where her boundaries are and what she is going to do or not going to do under extreme circumstances. And so this is inducing a borderline personality disorder-like state where there is identity diffusion, like multiple personality. Grooming does that to you. And the sixth role is to isolate you from family and social network. The more isolated you are, the more dependent you are on the source of the grooming. So put together, grooming creates a shared psychotic space within which the shared fantasy thrives on false promises and false premises. And there's a make-believe role play. Whenever the woman tries to exit this common territory, this common delusional territory, she's punished.